Now, you mentioned developing game, some of which is based on others. Can you talk about that process? I know in the past you've mentioned like I've taken some from Gordon, I've taken some from Eddie, I've taken some from Murillo, et cetera, and I've made it to me. Especially when these people are not like your body type or your speed or whatever it may be.
I think it's very important to remember that when you take knowledge from other people, that you're probably never going to do it exactly like they do it. It's a very important thing to remember because, like, you've been doing that shit for 10 years. You feel like that. It's like me learning, like, an underhook from a judo guy and wrestling. Like, I may be really good at it and I get good, but yeah, it's never going to feel like yours or the identical of it. So, when I study, I take knowledge or when I learn it, I take it and I just apply it to my body type. And I'm just very calculated. It's hard to explain. Like if I can't to review footage, that's great. But I don't need to review footage in my round. Or like I can sit down and I can zone in and I can remember exactly what happened, what went wrong, what tension went wrong. And I can calculate like the next time I go, how I need to react to this position. And then I'll go try it. And if it doesn't work, I'll recalibrate it again. Even if I watch it, I still do that in my mind. And I do that in my mind all the time. So like that's something that's to me that I actually probably never really even told anybody. I just like really see it in my brain. Like I will sit there and be like, just think about it so hard. I'm very visual in my mind. I have a very good imagination since I was a kid. So I can imagine the whole sequence. Feels like I can open the thing in my head and I can pick apart the part that didn't work and why is this not working. Granted, as long as I'm not like super frustrated, I can be logical and be like, okay, this didn't work because of this, and this. That's how I view it in my head. But just learning in general, I learn a lot from Lachlan Giles. I religiously study Lachlan Giles. I like to stay on point with up to date techniques so that I know that there's nothing to surprise me. So like I'm up to date on buggy chokes. I'm up to date on like I put myself a lot of situationals with heel hooks with the new variations, new defenses, and make sure that I'm cleaning up my game so that I can go out and finish guys still and still keep up with the young guys because let's be realistic, at this day and age you're just fighting 18 to 25-year-olds on steroids. So I have my work cut out for me. Studying is super important, but also being mindful that you have a different body type and you might have to maneuver it to your body type. So like for instance, like if I learn from Murillo, I've known him forever and I can kind of adjust it to where it is so it's a little easier. But when I go learn from Lachlan Giles, everything works pretty good, but I have to modify it a little bit because I have a little bit of a different body type. I have this 5'6" frame, but my arms and legs are pretty long for a 5'6" frame. So I actually can get away with things more than others. But I can't pull off exactly what Gordon does because Gordon fights guys that, yeah, they're amazing guys, but they don't move like light feather and light featherweights. It's just not the same. So you can't do that. Like Gordon doesn't even need to be faster. He just has to time things. I have to be just as quick as my opponent. So it changes a lot. So I think that it's important to when you study, take what works and practice and troubleshoot it and see how your body has to react because you may see something and somebody may teach it and you may have to troubleshoot it, because you move differently. You may have to figure out what movement you do. So like I troubleshoot everything. So I will never do anything competition I haven't troubleshooted.